Hi Scrubs, I hope you're well. So we're back on pre-pod. Remember, this is a test version of Howrse where we test out new promos and features before they're added to the live game. We're going to be looking at some new features that might be coming up soon, and we're also going to be looking at a new item. So to start off with, we have Emma's competitions for divine horses. So your divine horses are ready for the competition, but there are fewer and fewer opponents. How can you be sure you're at top level if there's no competitions where you can test yourself? So Emma has the solution. Discover Emma's competitions for divine horses. So much like the way we've had this new set of competitions that whenever there's no competitions from regular ECs, you now have Emma's competitions for horses. This now applies to divines too. So if there are no longer competitions for special horses available, then one of Emma's competitions will appear, allowing your divine horse to take part in a competition anyway. Depending on your horse's level, the difficulty level of Emma's competitions will be the lowest one possible. So it'll give you a higher chance of winning. Then we've got champion competitions. So whether you're an aspiring champion or a long-time competitor, you'll have your own category. We are well aware of the issues relating to beginner competitions. We've worked to improve this aspect by adding 2 new types of competitions. Based on your horse's number of wins, you'll be able to participate in only a certain type of competition to increase fairness and achieve an easier blup. Competitions will now be divided into 2 categories. And there'll be one category for competitions for horses with more than 20 wins. So if your horse has more than 20 wins, it goes in there. And then a competition for horses with fewer than 20 wins. So if your horse does not have 20 first places, it's going to go into that second category. So as a breeder, if your horse has less than 20 wins, you can take part in all competitions for horses with fewer than 20 wins, or all competitions for beginner horses with a certain genetic potential. If your horse has achieved 20 wins, you can take part in all competitions for horses with at least 20 wins, and your horse will be removed from all pending competitions which are restricted to horses with fewer than 20 wins. Now, I like the idea that I can separate a horse that has, let's say, 2,000 wins from my horse that maybe I'm blopping and I'm trying to get wins on. But what concerns me, and I think I've posed this question in the forums, I'm sort of waiting to see. If you are, let's say you're doing a skiller and you're also maybe going to use it for breeding just before you geld it, okay, just hypothetically. If you enter, let's say, 200 competitions, right, and you spend the energy and the items and all that doing that, because we put items like BM items on our horses to get those bonuses, and you've entered those 200 competitions because you want to get Equus, which a lot of people do with skillers. A lot of people use skillers for the purpose that they're going into a lot of competitions. If your horse is then removed, let's say at this point your horse, when you enter those 200 competitions, didn't have 20 wins. By the time you then get maybe an hour later, maybe 20 of those competitions have come through and you get removed from the other 180. Well, you spent energy entering those. Are you going to get any Equus compensation, for example? Because I know a lot of people now, with the fact that pass horses have gone, aren't really AP farming to the same degree because they were aging horses up like that. You know, you were maybe also collecting Equus from doing lessons with pass horses. This also kind of feels like it's contributing to that slightly. And I'm wondering, and I have asked this, what are we going to get, you know, in retrospect to that? Because if you're removed from these competitions, are you going to be pushed into, you know, a random 180 from the above, or are you just going to be removed from those and not get any kind of compensation for that? And that's what concerns me, because it kind of makes me think, well, are people then going to be like, I'll just enter 20, wait till I see if I get 20 wins and keep going? And this change also applies to Emma's competitions, and this will make it easier for you to blup your horses. For more information on blup, you take a look at the breeder's manual. So right now, this is something that I am kind of wondering about, and whether this is going to maybe be a very big downside to this, because I like the idea of not having to go against, as I said, horses with a lot of wins, but I also don't want to be losing the Equus that I'm going to get. Now, I have been testing this, but the problem that I've had is I have had this horse for quite a while now on pre-pod, and it still has, it's 1 win short, and it is in a lot of competitions. So if we have a look here, we can see how many competitions I've entered with this horse. I also have another horse there that I've been trying to enter. This other horse is a horse that has 20 wins already, and I've just been entering that horse in, and there doesn't seem to be any problem with that one. But this other horse that I have, the under 20 win horse, is entered into a lot of competitions, and I've tried to fill some of them myself with second horses, but unfortunately I haven't had any luck. I am going to try with a couple of other horses that I got recently as well. So this one has 18 wins and it just needs 2. So I'm going to put some of these horses into some competitions. So we're just going to put them in a couple of like competitions here before we actually put them into ones that are ready to run. Just because I want to see what happens if we kind of get any compensation for that, because that is something I think a lot of people who enter competitions for the purposes of getting a lot of equus, because some people do, some people enter competitions with that purpose. Okay, there's a lot of ones in here, but I don't think I'm going to win any of these with this horse, but okay, there's 1 win. So now we have 19 wins on this horse, so let's see if we can get another one. Okay, that's a 3rd. Because I want to see what happens to the rest of these competitions. Oh, did we get another win? We did. So congratulations, your horse has reached 20 wins. It has been removed from all pending competitions. It now has access to competitions with horses with more than 20 wins. So we entered that horse into a couple of competitions there. And this is what I'm wondering, is whether we have got any sort of compensation for having done that. And that is kind of what does concern me, and I think a lot of people that have that same kind of, you know, concern, like, you know, if you put a lot of bonus items on a horse and you're trying to get a lot of wins and you want a lot of equus, and you just get removed because your horse then had 20 wins, I think it could impact how people are going to blow up their horses, because people might go, right, well, I'll only enter maybe 20 competitions, hold off and wait. And that kind of contributes to the problem of people not really entering competitions in a way. If everybody started to, let's say, take part in that behaviour, or most people, because most people are going to try and change their behaviour to kind of work alongside that. Now, I really, really desperately want to get this horse to, you know, entered into, and see how many of these then just disappear. We're going to keep a note of this, so just on this number, because I want to see what happens whenever I get this horse into other competition types. We're going to switch this horse over to Western, because I've checked every single one of the other competitions and I just haven't got enough available competitions there, so we're just going to start entering some of these ones. And we'll see if we can get... Okay, so there's another win. Alright, let's just refresh the page. Okay, so this horse now has its 20 wins, and it's been removed from all pending competitions. So the last one is, as an Equestrian Centre manager, when creating a competition, you must choose the category of horses that are allowed to participate. Horses with at least 20 wins, horses with fewer than 20 wins, beginner horses, special horses, horses in my team, this is for those with VIP. Moreover, it is no longer possible to create competitions for beginner and special horses. With this new update, all competitions which are not restricted to beginner horses, special horses, or horses in a team will be assigned into a specific category. In other words, a competition with a difficulty level below 34% will turn into a competition for horses with fewer than 20 wins, and competitions with a difficulty level equal to or above 34 will turn into a competition for horses with more than 20 wins. Similarly, current competitions which are restricted to special beginner horses will turn into competitions for special horses without the level taken into account. So if we go on over here to our Equestrian Centre, and we go to competitions. So now when you go to manage this, you can choose between with fewer than 20 wins, with more than 20 wins, low level. For this is grayed out for me, and special. So this is the change here whenever you're creating competitions. You gotta kind of take that into account now. Now the last thing I want to talk about is Kairos Dial. So the Kairos Dial is a new item that's being tested, and the Kairos Dial, any care you give will no longer use up any time in your horse's day. So you can use this extra time for more activities each day, and this item cannot be exchanged. So we're going to put this on this horse here. So basically, if I just edge this horse forward, basically if I use the groom, you can see it still stays at 8 o'clock. If I use drink, it stays at 8 o'clock. If I do stroke, it stays at 8 o'clock. Carrot, stays at 8 o'clock. Mash, stays at 8 o'clock. Feed it, stays at 8 o'clock. So essentially anything in the care here will not make the day, you know, be dragged out. So it means you can spend more time doing missions, rides, training, competitions. none of this in this box here is gonna have any impact on increasing the deck. So obviously if we click mission, it goes to 10 o'clock. If we do some rides, it increases. If we do a competition, it's going to increase. So you can see that there. So just this bar here is not going to have any kind of impact. So that's basically the purpose of the KARIOS Dial. So don't let time fly. The new KARIOS Dial item lets you take care of your horses without consuming time for each care action. Save 2.5 hours of your horse's day. List of effective actions: feed, carrot, drink, groom, mash and stroke. So that is the KARIOS Dial. So if you guys have any more questions in regards to these new features that we have right here, feel free to leave them in the comments below. As I said, there's one or two things here that I'm pretty sure are bugs, and I will discuss this whenever we finally get it on the live version, and I will do any updates. I'll pin any updates I have underneath this video, and if you guys want, I can also share it in the community tab of my channel, because as I said, these things, there's been a lot of feedback about these features from players, and I'm hoping that they're going to take that into consideration and tweak these a bit, because I like the thought of not having, as I said, to go against horses with a lot of wins, especially when you're blopping. It's very difficult that way, but there are just certain aspects I think are there are things that need to be tweaked and improved upon for this really to be ready to be put into the live version of the game, because I think right now, at the way it is at the moment, it's not ready for that. So anyway, scrubs, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed it, and bye!